How we doing tonight, class? Okay, tonight we are going to learn about short-term and long-term goals for health. Look at the goal in the background. Cartman is going to score his goal. Great job, Cartman. What are our goals? Are goals just the goal on the field or the basketball hoop? Are they something up here in the left-hand corner that people build up towards? Well, looked it up in the dictionary. Here's what I found for you. In football, soccer, rugby, hockey, and some other games, a pair of posts linked by a crossbar, often with a net attached behind it. Like when you hear a commentator go, "Goal!" That'd be a goal scored in a soccer game. Well, that's not the goal I'm talking about. The goal I'm talking about, there's two types. There's objective and there's subjective. And here they come, flying in the screen. First, we're going to talk about objective. Objective goal, attaining a specific standard of proficiency on a task, and is usually time-oriented. Well, an example, attempting to obtain a specific level of weight loss in 3 months. Well, there's other types of objective goals. So, an objective goal is something that you can obtain, it's measurable. You can write it down and build up steps towards it. You can write it down and tell if you actually got there. That's an objective goal. Well, can you think of any other objective goals? Maybe professional teams use them. You see them all the time. They're everywhere. It's the most common objective goal every team has. Only one team can get it. Any hints? Did you get it? Yes. Wins in a season. Championship. Win-loss records. Those are objective goals. Alright. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Okay. Let's go over subjective goals. General statements of intent. Well, a statement of intent can be, I'm happy. It's in a statement. Well, statement of intent right here is I want to do well. I want to have fun. These aren't really measurable goals. So that's the way you can tell the difference whether a goal is objective and subjective. Subjective goals aren't measurable. So I want to do well on a test. That's a goal. That is a goal. But it's not actually measurable. How do you measure if you did something well? You're going to measure whether you got a B, a C, an A. Where's the line for the well? Is well 88%? Is well 20%? No, that's not really a measurable amount. Now, getting a B on a test, that's measurable. You can tell if you got a B on a test, because if you got 75%, did not get a B. If you got 85%, you got a B. That's measurable. So subjective goals, not measurable. You want to really try and stay away from subjective goals. They are good to create. Have subjective goals in your head. Create some subjective goals, but they're not measurable, so try and stay away from them. Okay, why do we want to set goals? Well, builds confidence. Builds sense of accomplishment. Protrudes more activity. You set a goal, you are more likely to put more effort into it. It moves us. Makes us happy. Goals do make us happy. You set goals all the time and you do reach them and you're happy about them. Creates a buzz. Gets us going. Gets people talking about it. And most of all, create success one step at a time. That's what we're looking for. We want to be successful. We want to build up our steps to get there and reach our top of that staircase. It's a little hint of what's coming next. Okay, let's brainstorm. Go ahead and there's a link. Go ahead and click to the link on the website for the printout. Go ahead and print it out, and I want you to write down 3 objective goals and 3 subjective goals. Go ahead and pause the video if you need time to do this and just resume the video. Okay. Well, I hope you have your goals written down. Now we're going to go over short and long-term goals. As you can see on the left-hand side, there's 2 steps. It's relatively a short-term goal. On the right side, there's 7 steps. That's relatively a long-term goal. Okay, a short-term goal can be achieved in a relatively short amount of time and effort. Relative is the key word right there. Everything is relative. If a goal is very easy, it should take a little bit less time and effort. If a goal is hard, it should relatively take you more time and effort. You can think of a short-term goal as a short set of stairs. Like you see in the picture there, 2 stairs. You can get up those stairs really easy. Now, the stairs can be different. They can be very small stairs. You should be able to hop through those stairs very fast. Those stairs are 1 inch tall. Now, each of those steps are 2 feet tall. You know, it's gonna be a little bit more effort to get up those 2 steps. You're gonna really have to push off that one leg a little bit harder. So, it's gonna take you a little bit more time. Those are the relative ideas towards the time and the effort. Okay, as you go along, they should get progressively harder as well. Short-term goals shouldn't be easy all the way through. You get through your first short-term goal, the next one should be a little bit harder, take you a little bit more time. The next one after that, be a little bit harder, take you a little bit more time. And then finally after that, be quite a bit harder, take quite a bit more time, and then at that point you have met your long-term goal. Long-term goals comprise of short-term goals over a much longer period of time. Examples of a long-term goal can be running a marathon, losing 50 pounds, getting a 3.7 GPA. We all want the 4.0, but we do need to be realistic, huh? I'm just kidding. Everybody here can get a 4.0 if you try very hard. Okay, let's use 3.7 GPA as an example. Okay, we're in health right now. You want to get an A in PE. Well, getting an A in PE is a short-term goal to get a 3.7 as a long-term goal. So your goal can be getting an A in PE, getting an A in math, getting an A in science, getting an A in language, getting an A in your elective, getting an A in PE. Those are all short-term goals that build up to your long-term goal of the 3.7 GPA. Okay, makes sense? I think we got a grasp on that. Remember, shorter goals comprise longer goals. Okay, let's go back to the 3 goals that you wrote down earlier. Remember, you wrote down 3 objective goals and 3 subjective goals. Go ahead and pull that sheet up and let's take a look at it. On that sheet, which goals are short-term or long-term? Below your goals, go ahead and create 2 columns. On the left-hand side, write short. Right-hand side, write long. Go ahead and rearrange your goals. Have some space between them because we are going to be playing around with these goals and rewrite them. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video so you can do that, then resume it once you have those 2 columns completed. Okay, if they were a short-term goal, next to it, I want you to write what a long-term goal could be for that short-term goal. So on the left-hand side, you should have short-term, and just right next to the goals, just write another one that could be a long-term goal that it combines to. Go ahead and pause the video. Once you've completed it, resume the video. Okay, if they were a long-term goal, on the right-hand side, I want you to write down 5 short-term goals for those long-term goals. Go ahead and pause the video, and again, resume once you have completed the activity. Okay, now we're going to go over how to make goals. You want to follow the SMARTS plan for creating goals. We're going to go through that right here. Specific. You want to make sure you're specific. Goals should indicate what is precisely to be done. Well, you want to try and hit the bullseye. You don't want to try and hit far out on the side and be 5 rings out or miss your target completely. Now for goals, what that means is, for example, if you write down a goal as, I want to run, it's very broad. How are you going to accomplish your goal? Now, if you be more specific, I want to run a marathon, that's better. Now we know how to build short-term goals towards that and actually know if we obtained it or not, because I want to run. Is that measurable? It's kind of hard to measure. I want to run a marathon. That's measurable. You completed it. You ran so many miles. There we go. So you want to make sure you're specific with your goals. Next, you want to make sure you're measurable with your goals. Make sure you can actually measure a bit. Goals should be quantifiable. Like the example we just had with the marathon. It's measurable. Marathons are a certain distance, 24 miles for example. We know if you ran the 24 miles or not because you only ran 22. You did not meet your goal. You ran 24 miles. You met your goal. You ran the marathon. Make sure they're measurable. An example of an unmeasurable goal is, let's say, I want to run. How do we know if you ran? Is it measurable? Could you get halfway to your goal? You ran halfway. How far did you run? We don't know. So goals should be measurable. You should be able to break it down to know if you got halfway, 3/4 of the way, progress yourself all the way through. Next, goals should be action-oriented. Goals should indicate something that needs to be done. So your goal should indicate something. You're trying to accomplish something. There's an action that's going to take place. Example right here, the fish in the bowl. The fish wants a new bowl. An action needs to take place. He has to jump from one bowl to the next if nobody's there to help him. So make sure your goals are action-oriented. Sorry about this. Okay, next, goals should be realistic. Goals should be achievable given various constraints. And make sure you create realistic goals. Don't write down something you can't actually do. But then don't write down something that's too easy. You don't want goals to be too easy or too hard. If you guys have seen this movie, you know McLovin is not very bright with his goals. He wanted to get a fake ID. He made a fake ID saying he's 27 years old. I think everybody knows he doesn't look like he's 27 years old. And this doesn't mean go out creating fake IDs. Just figured you guys have seen this movie and you thought it'd be funny. Okay, next, goals should be timely. Goals should be achievable in a reasonable time. Now, if it's a very hard goal, you do want to create more time for yourself. If it's a very easy goal, should speed up the time a little bit because you want to make it not too easy. You want to make sure you complete it in a timely fashion so the long-term goal is completed in a timely fashion. Next, last one, self-determined. Goals should be set by or have input from the participant. That's you. Yes, who, me, you. You want to make sure you have an idea or input in your goals. Somebody else should not create all of your goals. For example, I, your teacher, am not going to create all your goals. You need to set your own goals for your class. If you want an A, you're going to create your goals. I'm not going to tell you your goal is an A if it's not obtainable. But everybody in here should be getting A's. Let's work hard. Let's complete our homework and actually watch the entire video, huh? Okay, next. Remember, specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, timely, self-determined. Spell SMART. How easy is that? Smart, smart, smart. Okay, tomorrow we are going to get into groups of 4, and you're going to create a PowerPoint with the definition for a long-term and a short-term goal. And then you will present that PowerPoint at the end of class. So that's what we'll work on tomorrow. Just giving you so you can brainstorm tonight for some examples and such other things. But for the rest of tonight, you will create 3 long-term goals. And of those 3 long-term goals, you can create 3 short-term goals that build up to each of those long-term goals. Remember, use the SMARTS path for creating goals. All right. There is a podcast with more directions for all of this. So that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in and have a great night. Make sure you complete the rest of your homework here, and I'll see you tomorrow in class. We will be working on the PowerPoints. Each group will have their own computer. You'll have 15 minutes, and then each group will present. It'll be very short. Don't stress about it. I just want you guys to brainstorm and talk to each other about goals. It's very good to communicate and collaborate in class. See you tomorrow.